Hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I'll actually change the scene so I'm live in full screen. And in the live. Ah, there it is. I've been streaming for how long? Without the sound. It's the second time it does this to me. And I don't know why. So I really need to check the sound is registering in OBS. I think it's bad practice to use swear word, but I really want to scream right now. Thank you for saying it to me. Okay, good. How are you doing? What are you doing in my stream except pointing out that the mic is not working? And you don't actually have music either, because there's supposed to be music, but I see it's not registering either, so I need to update my streaming setup so it's more reliable. Yeah, I see that you can't hear the music because it's not registering on the OBS window, but I'm afraid of like killing Wavelink and starting it again. I'm not sure if I will lose the mic also. Let me try to reset. No. Okay, so it will be some voice stream and no music stream. I need to figure that out this weekend. There's still a lot of progress to do on the streaming. But thanks for joining and thanks for letting me know, because I'm actually it's too bad. I'm actually recording at the same time in a different view. Actually, maybe you can let me know if I do, I think this one. Do you prefer this view or the other one? Because in this view, I basically can work on my full screen and still show you most of the important thing, and it's even sliding. So it's maybe I will switch to this view in next streams. But I want to make it a little bit more reactive. I mean, it's already good. So let's keep it like that and see if it's more attracting to people. Because I know that it can be difficult to watch stream with a small size for the, yeah, it's better, small size for the character on screen and stuff like that. So maybe it's better like that. It's not showing the actually my whole screen, but it's okay. So yeah, I was basically saying that I'm working on this step collide and slide basically, and I'm trying to implement the step and climbing and all the features. Yeah, I know. I'm actually streaming both on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, but I don't think there is anyone on Twitch. Actually, I should have the chat open. Yeah, no, I didn't see anyone on stream on Twitch. Oops. Yeah, you're the only viewer right now. So thank you for for watching me. If you have any questions, I'm basically knowledgeable. I won't say I'm an expert because there is always some more stuff to learn. But I'm knowledgeable with Unity ECS and dots. So if you are working on that, or if you have any question related to your project or something like that, I'm happy to take interest into your project also, and maybe, I don't know, give you some of my advice or perspective. So don't hesitate to share if you're working on your own project. What's your project, and if you have any struggle. For me, I'm working on this character controller for dots, and I started with the multiplayer full-on project, but I'm struggling, so I moved back to just doing the Colladian slide, and then I will do just the numerical integration with velocity verlet, and then I will move back to the multiplayer project. Yeah, that's what I want to do. The first streams were actually about dots and multiplayer. But it's a bit hard to have everything together in the same project when you're not already fully understanding all the concept of character movement, because the prediction loop and stuff like that are kind of messing around with your debugging. So it's easier to debug piece separately. So I'm starting with the Colladian slide without networking, then do the numerical integration, so velocity verlet without networking and without the Colladian slide, and then I will put them together in a multiplayer game using dots and ECS. So that's why everything here is using burst and ECS, because that's the basis of the work. And I'm almost there because everything is working almost as expected. I'm just having some issues with the step logic. Because this step is working, step straight is working, the step sideways is working, as we may have seen quickly. It's still moving a straight line and moving. The climbing is okay, the no climbing is okay. This one is okay because it's bumping his head on the obstacle above, so it cannot step over. And right now I'm trying to figure out this case, which is this one. Actually, let's disable all others. And this one. Now it's stepping above it. It was not stepping above it before, which was my issue. So why did it solve itself? Yeah, it solved itself because I messed up. I messed up the this one. Over here in the step logic, I'm adding the radius. So since I'm not doing the direction, so I should have this like mass dot normalize of the direction times this radius. In that case, it will be not casting upward but forward, and I will have my bug back again, which is this is a slope that is too steep to climb. So it should try to do it as a step, but since I'm colliding before the top of the obstacle, I'm actually considering that I cannot move there, so I'm staying down, and yet the top of the step is below the maximum step height, so I should be able to step over it. So I need to figure that out. And what I was saying is in my little diagram here, what I'm doing, so let's reset the capsule. What I'm doing initially is that I'm moving the player to the step height that I've defined from the collision, and then trying to cast forward. But actually, if the step height is below the maximum step height, I should try to do the cast forward with a shorter collider, so I don't risk to bump my head above, but I'm still going above the maximum step height to be able to go above this kind. So I need to find a way to have a different capsule or a shortened capsule when I'm doing my cast here. But this cast is using the cast input, which contains the collider. And that collider, I cannot just shrink it. I don't know. And I would need to know by how much I need to shrink it. So I already have this distance, which is the distance from the player route to the step height that I've computed. Yeah, using a shaped, let's say a sloped shaped collider to cross stairs is could be an option, but it would not solve this case basically, because even if I rounded the angle here, I would still be hitting way below that. So the other option, now if I was to say, okay, even if the slope is too steep, if the collision point is below the maximum step height, I would start climbing every slope. No, here basically the issue. So let me do it in this one. So here, let's actually rotate that like that. Here the issue is that when I'm doing the collision cast to check, I'm casting horizontally, and of course it's not working here. But let's say this one was like that. So my character is 2 unit high, and I can step 1 unit in height. So here, the step height total is lower than my my maximum step height, so I should be able to move above. But the logic is saying, okay, I'm detecting the step at this point, the collision point between my capsule and the obstacle. The slope is too steep to be considered a slope and walking on it. So it's either a wall or a step. To check if it's a step, on the next iteration, I'm moving the capsule up to the height of the detected step, and trying to cast forward. But since I can't move far enough, it's saying, okay, that's not a step. So I'm staying on my initial position. So that's what it's doing here. So and even if, let's say, this one was even higher like that, if I do it here, I'm still colliding below the maximum height. So I can't consider that it's a step because in fact it's not a step. Yeah, but if I follow the slope, so you mean that, yeah, but that will make me climb the slope even here. It will continue climbing. So I cannot, because following the slope vertically is exactly what I'm doing for the wall climbing case. For this one. This is exactly what I'm doing. So I don't want to have this behavior for the step because it may not be a step or a climbable situation. So not sure how to handle that. When you interact with, so actually let me read it there, it's bigger. When you interact with a stair object, can you check that 1 unit high following the slope to see if it's clear? I could do that, but my PowerPoint. If I follow the slope here, so even if I do like a sphere cast or something, let's say I detect the collision here at this point. I follow the slope 1 unit high. It basically gives me no information on whether it's the end of this object or not. And I would possibly hit something that I could otherwise walk on because the step is not that high, basically. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's really a tricky one. And to make it generic, because if I don't know, for let's say that my maximum step is like 1.5 or something like that, I can't rely just on the unit, or because actually if the step is just below the 0.5, it's working because I'm considering it as a slope. Yeah. So it's really the case where the collision is It's really where the collision is just between the radius and the maximum step height. The second collision, I mean. I'm trying to avoid as many casts as possible because it's costly. And the step is already doing a cast, a blind cast, basically, to say, let's try it. I'm not sure if it's working, but let's try it. Yeah, but that's essentially what I'm doing because the capsule collider here has the maximum step height. I got the maximum step height that is configured here. So that's essentially what I'm doing for this particular character. And I'm actually checking the other way around. I'm checking first if the slope is too steep, maybe it's a step. And to be a step, it needs to have the collision point below this maximum step. So I think my only real true solution is the one where I shrink the collider. So the one where I shrink the collider like that to move it forward. But I have no clue how to shrink the collider. And right now I'm using a capsule collider. If I do a sphere collider, I will lose the height of my player, so maybe I won't detect a ceiling obstacle or something like that. And it's should I consider that my collider is always a capsule? Is there a way to scale a collider? Collider. No, that's a single value, so it's not that. Because here I've got the generic collider, but I can't resize it. Or maybe there is something in the cast. I can do a custom cast. Physics world. Cast collider. There is actually a lot of collider. I don't see anything that relates to scaling, and I don't want to use aspects because they will end up being deprecated. Just give me a minute because I think there is some Okay, sorry, I'm back. Um, yeah, but that physics cast capsule, from the syntax, I think it's for game object physics. So I'm not actually using the same one. Maybe there is something, and that would limit me. That would limit me to capsules only. Capsule cast custom. 0.1, 0.2 radius, direction, max distance, filter, and query interaction. That could be it. Yeah, that could be it, but it's doing a lot of stuff, and I'm not very comfortable recreating, because it's basically recreating the collider every frame. So I would prefer not to have to recreate a collider every frame just for that. Yeah, it's the same thing basically. Yeah, it's calling the capsule cast custom, so but how is this doing the cast? Let's actually check the other cast that I'm doing, which is basically this one, collision word. Okay, casting it. Broad face cast collider, okay. Cast input. Yeah, it's getting the collider directly. It's not rebuilding the collider. A raycast from the top of the collider when you hit the wall is too costly. Guess no, it's not that costly. I guess that maybe I don't know. Because if I do a cast from the top of the collider, I'm not sure. Or you mean vertically? Because if I do it horizontally to check it, I have no option. Vertically, you mean? So doing a cast like two units or two radius away from the player and downward. Yeah, or 1.5 above the step height, yeah, maximum step height. from the top of the collider, basically, top of the player. It doesn't make sense to have a maximum step height that is above the height of the player. In that case, it's not stepping up, it's climbing. So if I do, let's say I do a recast, and I get this point I can check if it's higher or lower. But I guess technically, if I'm picky, maybe here I'm below the maximum step height, but this one is above the maximum step height, so I should not step over it if I'm really picky about it. But if I do it horizontally from the maximum step height, I can check that there is no obstacle between me, my potential step. So because basically here it's my potential step height, but that's the step height that I've computed. And to check if it's actually less, I think there may be some math that I can do to estimate based on the slope. Basically, if I do a recast, from my character to the movement direction, so if I hit, like, let's say my maximum step height is 1, I hit the wall at 0.5. I can estimate the horizontal distance based on the slope of the collision. So yeah, if I do, let's exaggerate things a bit. Let's do something like that. I'm colliding here. My maximum step height, let's say, is supposed to be around here at this level. So since I'm colliding at this point, I know the slope here. So based on the slope, I can get like a distance to check to reach that maximum step height. And then I can do my check from that distance. So from my player to this distance at the step height. And if I don't hit anything, it would mean that I can that it is a step. Because if I hit something, it means that's a wall. And basically, this would be a step, and this would be a wall. and all of that would be steps. And if it's a step, then I still consider it like a slope, so I can still keep going up and checking the ceiling. But that no, that will cause an issue, because as I'm moving up, so is this cast. So I will keep saying it's a step and treat it as a slope. So I don't you see what I mean? Yeah, I already determined it was a step, but that would work if I was sure that in one frame I would go over that step. But here, since I'm considering it as a slope, I'm just moving it above a little bit. I'm not yet past the step. So on the next frame, I redo this evaluation. And that's exactly why I have, so if I look at the code, that's also why I have, sorry, in my classification logic, I'm saying basically if the slope is too steep, maybe it's a step. So it's a step if the potential height step is below the maximum step. But it cannot be a step if it was already a step, because otherwise I keep climbing, basically. I keep considering it as a step, and I keep trying higher and higher cast until I go over the obstacle. So if I remove this one, for instance, you see it disappeared because too fast. Sorry. Here it's saying, okay, it's a step. So I'm trying it, and on the next frame, I keep trying it. So it's always a step. So I'm always trying higher and higher for the next iteration of the stuff. So the question is how to not get stuck. How to not get stuck here. I really don't see any other on any other reliable options than shrinking the collider. Can a step have a perfectly vertical wall and a slope is never a step, or you have a different scenario for that? So for me, basically there is no slope. Either it's ground, so even if it's inclined but I can work on it, I consider it as ground, or it's a wall. If it's too steep, it's a wall, except if the height of the collision is below the maximum step height. So I'm kind of stuck with the idea of shrinking the collider. But even if I shrink the collider, actually, you know what? Let's change my collider because I'm creating it myself. To say that the first vertex is the capsule radius plus the maximum step height. Collide and slide plus maximum step height. No, it's not exactly what I had in mind. I wanted to shrink my collider. What happened? Let's re-add the debug display to see the exact collider that I just created. And it's not at all the collider I wanted. Because again, there is this mass up that I need to use. Save? No? Recompile? Yeah, I'm doing the addition. Okay. Okay, so now that's basically my shrunk collider. Which is strangely shaped, but let's go. And why are you not drawing my... Oh yeah, it's drawn. It's drawn here. So I need to also update my grounding, which is here, to add the maximum step height. Yeah, I'm going above it now because I shrunk the capsule by the size of the maximum step. So now the question is, did that break anything else? Let's remove this debug. So yes, that did break something. Because I think that this one was not supposed to pass. Yep. This one right here should not have passed. I mean, technically it does pass, but maybe it's even more accurate now. I don't know. Oop, no. Not what I expected. No, I think that shrinking the collider just for the step would be the way to go. Yeah, it gets pushed through the cube. Probably because I'm moving to the maximum step height above the step when I should not. I probably should not do that. But we see that shrinking the collider does work for the other use case. So now the question is, can I do that just for when I'm stepping? I guess I could move that here. So let's say bool collided false by default, and say collide is equal to this one for every case. Let's start slow basically and put it everywhere. And now I'm just saying, okay, collided. That normally should not change anything. Let's revert back my authoring here to just solve this this case. Okay, so this one is back to what I was expecting. And this, no. Which one was it? I lost it. Enable everything. It was this one. It was this one, okay. So it really is this one that I want to nail down. Okay. So that's still working. So now all I need to do is, for the step in particular, I need to do a custom cast, basically. I need to do a custom cast, but that's going to, no, that's going to work because I'm not offsetting. Yeah, we'll see. There may be some other issue with ceiling again. But let's do it something dirty just to validate the hypothesis. So physics world dot cast capsule cast, and I want 2 points, radius, direction, maximum distance. So let's copy back my capsule geometry here. So that's supposed to be the capsule geometry, and my capsule was also with the maximum step height. So that's my initial capsule. So in this one, my vertex 0 is this one, my point 2 is this one, my radius is this one. And then I have the direction and distance. I just have the distance, so do I really need to actually decompose them? There is no code here. Where do I go from there? Okay, I guess I need to decompose them. So I need to do the length. I've already normalized my distance here. So I already have the direction, so I do need it already. Var cast direction. Okay, so I don't have to recompute that. And I do need my length. So mass dot length of the distance. Sorry. Length, okay. So I have the direction, I have the length, and what else? What is the next parameter? Filter, collision filters. So I need my collision filters from my actual collider. And value dot get collision filters. Okay. And that's my cast. Where is my output? I know there is a hit, but where do I put my collector? If I can't collect the hit, I'm screwed. Custom. Okay, so it's a custom 0.1, 0.2 radius, direction, maximum distance, which is the length, then the collector, then the filter. So ref, collector, and this one. Okay. Let's pray. Yes. Yes. And for all the other cases, which are, where did they go? Everything is selected. Okay. 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 Let's see. No, this one is still screwed up. This one is jittery. This one is crazy. And they are all screwed up, so not good. Not good at all. Mm. It's not, I'm not doing, I'm not doing the correct cast. Yeah, no problem. I'm not doing the correct cast here because let's draw the capsule that I'm casting. Collider cast. Singularity direction. Height. So the height is no longer 2. It's 2 minus the maximum step height. And color magenta. So I'm not doing the correct cast because the magenta here. I don't think this is the correct cast. Because I was initially, let's go back to this. I was initially doing the cast like that. And what I want now is to do the cast like that. So I actually need to move up more than my step. So actually I need to have that. Oh, it's screwing everyone. So custom cast not working very well. Revert. That's my cast direction. Just to make sure that I just have this case that's not working. No, not getting there at all, because if I'm solving this one, I'm screwing up all of the other ones. uh, so I need to. Yeah, yes, it's exactly that. Fixing one bug and creating like 300 other ones. This seemed promising, but it's screwing the other ones. It's screwing the other ones. The floating capsule thing, I don't think it's going to cause too many issues for the other ones, because no, normally if it's a slope. Why was it screwing this one, for instance? Hmm. I'm not sure why it screwed up the other ones. Because the other step height is 0, 6 or 8, depending on which frame I'm on. The floating capsule seems like a good idea if I can just apply it to the very specific, and that should do it. But why is it not? Guider cast custom. I needed the direction, so let's put the direction back, the length back. Why is it complaining again? So that is the very basic cast. But I'm not sure about this here, because I was initially moving the full player. I was moving the full player at this step height. Now what I'm doing is shrinking the player. I'm not shrinking, I'm shrinking the player to the maximum step height. Is it what I is it what I should do really? Initially, that's what I'm doing. What I want to try is to shrink there. So I should not move actually. Should I just cast the same? If I just cast the same collider, so I just cast this collider at the maximum step height, I may hit a ceiling, which would prevent me from moving forward. But if I'm doing it like that, technically the character should be like that. So I'm passing. But I should not if there is a ceiling. So I do need the full height. But if I do it at the full height and the step is lower, then I may hit a ceiling that I would otherwise not hit. The issue is that I have no idea what is the actual step height. Mm. Yeah, that would be more casting or more math, but And how does it? So let's actually, okay, let's do it like that. Okay. I'm curious to see what happens in this situation. Let's rotate this one slightly and move it like that. So technically this is a step that can be climbed up, and this is a too steep roll. So that's okay. What is my maximum? 45. Okay, put it just here. Actually, let's try that, because that's a step. That's working, so that's fine. And if I'm like 42 degrees, like that, that's also working. The bounds of the collider to get the height, I mean, I'm not sure it's generic enough, because here it's a simple use case where I have just a cube, and even with the cube I get the bounding box that would be like here. But imagine that it's a more complex shape that goes back up, and this is the bounding box, so that would not would not work well. But what happens if I do a sphere cast from my player center towards the normal? This will not. So just to check, bring that to the front. If I was to do something like that, I would still not hit the height of the step. I would just get the closest distance to from the player to the plane. The floating capsule is my only almost good idea. It's past midnight where I am, and I got a long day, so it's starting to be a bit hard to come up with new ideas. I mean, I'm almost there. It's just this one that needs to. Yeah, I'm very, very close, but it's like always the last few percent for perfection that are the hardest to get. And I'm probably overestimating the fact that it's perfect. I'm sure that these made-up cases are probably not all the cases that you can find in a real game. So, but I'm already happy that for now every collision is solved in one cast, except for the step which may need two casts. Yeah, it could be something that's designed out of the level. Could be something that that you find in QA or something like that, and just solve by changing the angle of the stuff or removing the object that's screwing up your collision or something like that. But it's really something that I would want to have, so that it's not on the level designer to make sure that the character can work around these kinds of exceptions. The whole goal of this character controller is to solve these kinds of finicky situation where yeah, you like, I mean, I've looked at many of the asset store controller. By the way, there is the Black Friday that's going on right now. Are you seeing the screen? I'm not sure. Yeah, it should be okay. Like the dots. So now it's rival. So it's no longer there, the dots character controller. But if I take something like game creator, which has a character controller module, where is it? Game creator 2. No, why can I not find game creator 2? That's strange. But either way, like third person controller here. This one. Yeah, they are not even showing the authoring workflow, but many of them just have, like, for jump and stuff like that, they have jump force. If you want to, yeah, if you want to check out the store, let me just try to do that. Tac. Does this work? No, it does not. No, it does not, or it's delayed, I don't know. But if you want, you can check. Okay, oh, it spammed it. So I've made a small comment like that in the chat to add the links to the affiliate page, or affiliate links to the asset store. So if you want to check out and support me while you are doing your shopping, you can do that through the affiliate link. It won't cost you more, and it will help me, so that's appreciated. And if you want to support me directly, you can look at the Coffee page, and there is also the Humble Bundle affiliate link. So plenty of ways to support me. And right now, what really helps me is watching me. Thank you, because I'm trying to reach the monetization threshold of YouTube. So yeah. Yeah, and there is also right now some bundles also on Humble Bundle. It's hard to say for me. There are some bundles for assets, like I think there are some assets from Infinity PBR, Nature Manufacturer, and so on. So do check them from time to time. There is a lot of good resources that are available there. I'm always very interested, let's say, in buying stuff that I can't make yet, like models and music and stuff like that. So maybe I will get into making models sometime in the future. Music, I really don't have a ear for that, so I will probably just buy that. And there is like so many skills that one can learn in a lifetime. So yeah. So yeah, I don't know what to do with this one. I probably need to think a bit more about this floating capsule hack. You were interested as making model assets too, so that's cool and good to make some extra money. Yeah, yeah, that would help. So yeah, making assets. Actually, there is another content creator, Imfenza. I'm really bad with name. Infenzia. Yes, Infenzia. So this content creator, which makes a lot of low poly assets, what he calls crisp model or something like that, where it just colors based on the geometry. So he makes a lot of them. And there is a video somewhere on his channel where he talked about the assets he made and why he made certain types of assets for the asset store. Yeah, a lot of the 10-minute challenge, so it's really good. And one of the videos, so Infenzia assets Unity. I'm not sure I can find that. Yeah, earn a living making game assets. I think it's this one, probably, where he goes through what kinds of assets and why he chose to sell these kinds of assets. And basically, what he's saying is, don't make coding assets like this character controller that I'm making, because it's a ton of support. There is always some HKs that you need to support and stuff like that. Whereas, and it's not very simple to present or to market. Whereas if you are doing like music, VFX, 3D model, stuff like that, it's quite easy, it's quite visual to see, to market, and it basically has zero support. So his recommendation would be to not actually do what I'm doing here, making a character controller myself. That's why I'm trying to squash as many edge cases as possible so that I don't have to figure them out later. So yeah, it's easier to sell things like looks good and sounds good. So I mean, if I were to sell this character controller, I would probably need some kind of art asset to add animation to it and stuff like that, because just the capsule is not very attractive in terms of presentation, let's say. Let's say. So yeah, I mean, it's I'm almost there. It's frustrating to have just one little case that's not working as I expect. So I don't know if what else can I try or do to find other edge cases, because I'm kind of stuck on this one, so I'll need to give it the night on it, and maybe several nights, and maybe for the next stream it will be finished, let's say. What I want to do also is once I've solved that last issue, is make like a small demo scene with all the use cases, and have the character loop. So basically reset it on the timer after like 5 seconds, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, even 4 seconds, to make it loop back, so that I can have a demo scene, maybe that rotates and stuff like that, and cover that in a dedicated video, not in a stream, to showcase this, and possibly make the project available if it's clean enough, let's say. So I don't know what time it is on your side. For me, it's closing in on 1 a.m. So I think I will probably stop for the night, and I'm not sure I will stream this weekend. Usually I was streaming on Fridays, but there is Turbo Makes Game Outpass show at the same time, so I don't want to compete. Yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Check out the asset store, affiliate link, the Humble Bundle, and check also if you want to actually learn. I don't know if you want to learn ECS. I have a full tutorial on my channel that you can take a look at. I need to set up all these kinds of links, comments to the playlist. So I have my playlist on the DOS Masterclass free. Yeah, so you can have a look at that. It's going through a full tutorial on making a game in ECS, and every step I build on top of the previous one until you reach basically so many ads. And that's not my video. Until you reach basically a full game, full puzzle platformer game, full tower defense game. So yeah, if you want to learn ECS and dots, go check it out. It will give me a few hours more to reach the monetization threshold, so that's good for me. Thank you. And thanks for joining again. Thanks for the subscription, because I think you said you subscribed. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome to watch, and if you have any questions, you can join the Discord channel to ask me, or catch me live in the next stream. Maybe on Saturday, definitely on Monday, next Monday. So thanks again, and see you in the next video stream or on Discord. Bye.